what you say hurt me so much. I shimmy, so I shimmy more that much. And chana nipa huwa flow nipa. I know they bother too much, but men so me what feelings be. And see we am a dear, I'm a tinny me. So me besa me de wo hu before be me mu. Treat me like your brother, and treat me like your sister, and make me one of your own. Treat me like your sister, treat me like your brother, and treat me like your sister, make me one of your own. Oh, treat me like your sister, Ain't it a woman, some da baby? Wami, the house is here. Minya macron Italia. Moja dear fruit, sunny woman, body be like nipper be a shimpo. This world and its caliber of people, and they will watch now will be pompo. It's in love one another, cause nobody knows tomorrow. And your mommy back pencil in 1 year. I could be one of yours. Treat me like your brother, and treat me like your sister, and make me one of your own. Treat me like your sister, treat me like your brother, and treat me like your sister,
Thank you. Please take your seats.
I would like to welcome all of you on behalf of Gye Nyame Union Luton to our fundraising and dinner dance. Thank you all for coming. Gye Nyame Union had been in existence since 2005. Throughout the years, we've been supporting various charities such as the Kish Hospice in Luton food banks, just to mention a few. We also have been supporting orphanages in Ghana in collaboration with Gye Nyame UK. This year, we chose Sickle Cell UK to bring awareness to our community, as this affects mostly Black and Asian people. We have our expert here, Mr. John James, to enlighten us a bit more. Korle Maternity Ward was also chosen, as recent reports from a documentary shown indicate that some women after delivery were unable to pay the bill, their hospital bill, when they were ready to be discharged. Mr. Ike Watting will be in our midst very shortly, and he has witnessed everything himself. He will tell us a bit more as well. These two charities recalled the need to support one another, hence tonight's occasion. It does not matter how tightly knit our families are or how many close friends we have. When we go through a difficult time or trial, many a time we will feel alone in that no one really cares or understands. I'm sure at least one person in this room has experienced what I've just mentioned. But how do we as a union know to support each other. One, by calling on one another on a regular basis, checking on the less talkative. When I say the less talkative, we have so many members who have in the past left the union because they are quiet, they are not heard. So when they are unwell, we don't get to know. And if we are supporting charities outside, how much more ourselves? So it is important. I'm not saying pick up a phone every day and call somebody. A text message. And these days, WhatsApp has done a marvelous job for us. So please contact one another. I know it's difficult sometimes with our tight schedules. Reach out and support each other. It's not a matter of spending thousands of pounds, just calling the person, texting them for them to know you care. It's a lot to cherish. This is my message for the coming year, 2020. With the support from my executives, I promise that we will do everything necessary to make this union credible and effective. Please do not hesitate to contact me or an executive member when needed. We will forever help. This also goes to each member of the union. Please support one another. So the time any of you receive, so next time somebody receive a phone call or a text message from myself or any executive member, do not feel we are invading in your privacy. It is our way of reaching out to you and seeking your welfare. Thank you all and have a prosperous new year.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that's much better. Can I first of all say a big thank you to the Ghana Union, your Lady Chair, Lilia, and Sam Kabina for inviting me here this evening. I was going to use some slides, but I'm just going to give you a short synopsis about sickle cell, a little bit about what we do, and also a little bit about what the future looks like for people who live with sickle cell or have children or other family members with sickle cell. So, the first thing I want to say is the Sickle Cell Society has been around for over 40 years. We're celebrating our 40th anniversary this year as a registered charity, although we've been around for 45 or so years. The organisation was set up by parents of children who have sickle cell, doctors, nurses, and other supporters. And some of those people have been rewarded in the New Year's Honours today. So Dame Sally Davis joins Elizabeth Anionu, who was the first black sickle cell nurse, and even Rudolph Walker. Do anybody watch EastEnders here? So Rudolph Walker was made a CBE today, and Dame Floella Benjamin. But those are patrons. But let me just say, really, something that's really, really important, a fact. Sickle cell is this country's, the UK's, biggest genetic blood condition. So there is no blood condition that is bigger than sickle cell in the UK. Globally, there are over 3 million people living with sickle cell. In the UK, we say it's nearer 20,000 who have sickle cell anemia. And then there's another 500,000 plus who are perfectly healthy carriers of the sickle cell gene. So what is sickle cell? First of all, it's an inherited genetic blood condition. For the men in the audience, it isn't something that only is a woman's issue. It takes 2 people to have a child with sickle cell. And some men say, well, it's not me, it's not in my family, but actually it's 2 people. So it's a genetic blood condition, the biggest in the UK. And what does it do? Well, think of the title. So the cell, the sickle, looks like a banana or it's sickle shaped. And what that means is when you have a child with sickle cell, a round blood cell carries oxygen all through the body. When it's sickled, there are occasions where it gets stuck in any part of the body, okay? And what that means is that there is no oxygen going to that part of the body. And the lack of oxygen, it could be the back, it could be the knee, it could be the brain, means that there is severe excruciating pain. And that pain isn't something that you just say, I'll go and lie down for 5 minutes and I'll be fine. In London, or in the south of England, sickle cell is in the top 15 of all causes for hospital admissions in London. So when people have a crisis, and that's what it's called, they usually end up in hospital. And it's not paracetamol, it's morphine and ketamine and very serious drugs that are given to ease that pain. Children will have had 2 silent strokes from sickle cell by the time they're 12 years of age. So it is a devastating condition. And the reality, which I'm pleased to say, is that people with sickle cell are living much longer than they were before. However, on average, people are still dying early because of the complications of the condition. Now, sickle cell's been known about for well over 100 years medically. People have won Nobel Prizes about describing the science of sickle cell. But today there are still only 2 treatments for people who live with sickle cell. And those treatments are regular transfusions, so you have regular automated red cell exchange to clear out the blood cells and the sickle cells and put new cells there, but also a drug called hydroxyurea, which is not a sickle cell drug. It was invented for cancer and chemo, but its effect on people who live with sickle cell is very positive. It's very, very, very positive indeed. But those are the only 2 treatments over 100 years, and in 2019, 2020, we still only have those 2 treatments. The good news is that I can think of 5 clinical trials that are currently taking place for new drugs for sickle cell, which is really promising. There's also gene therapy, and there's also something called gene editing, where they take the sickle cell and reverse it back into a normal cell. So there's lots of clinical trials taking place about sickle cell, not just here in the UK, in the United States, in Africa, and other parts of the world. And as your MC said, sickle cell is something that predominantly affects people whose heritage is from Africa, Asia. But let me tell you this, globally, India has lots of sickle cell. Brazil has lots of sickle cell. Europe, Portugal has lots of sickle cell. So it isn't something that is just a black person's condition, okay? And I'll give you a true story. I was giving a lecture to some Eastern European doctors and nurses who are supporting the NHS. And I said to them, 1 in every 300,000 white UK births today in this country is a white baby who either has sickle cell or is a healthy carrier of sickle cell. And a man in the audience said, but Mr. James, where's your evidence for saying that white people have sickle cell? And I said, well, the evidence is clear. Through the Sickle Cell Society, we campaigned to ensure in the 80s that every child born in the UK today, since the 80s, will have a heel prick test and some other test. It can be done before they're born, but that will identify those children who have sickle cell. and the man looked at me and said that he didn't know. He had assumed that sickle cell was only something that affected black people. And one final example about that, I have a picture, I don't have it here today, but I have a picture of a great-great-grandmother who's from West Africa, who is my complexion. If you look at her great-great-grandchild, she looks white. And all of that family have sickle cell. So the thoughts about who sickle cell affects is something the Sickle Cell Society are trying to raise awareness about, so that people don't think it's just something that affects black people. So the future is promising. The future is promising if these new drugs are approved by the NHS when they complete their trials. And that will mean people who live with sickle cell have a much wider choice of treatments. And another thing that you should know, which is factual, bone marrow transplant. Everybody heard of bone marrow transplants for sickle cell? Well, you can only have that if you're a child, and that's funded by the NHS, but only if you're a child. So if you are 18, 19, and hydroxyurea has failed, because hydroxyurea is not for everybody, and blood transfusions have failed, then what do? You have to fund a transplant yourself, because the NHS doesn't pay for it. But I'm pleased to tell you, the Society's been working with NHS England, and we hope that they'll introduce a new policy to allow adult transplantation. There's still some work to do on that, but we hope that will be the case. And I've noted that the fundraising today is also for Calibu Maternity Ward, so congratulations for doing that, because it's important for us to say that as a charity we work with other organisations across the world, including Ghana, Nigeria, the Caribbean, the United States. And there's a great haematologist in Ghana called Frimpong. Anybody have heard of Frimpong? Yes, right, so we know Frimpong very well, and he's doing lots of good work in Ghana for sickle cell. So I want to say a big thank you to everybody in the Ghana Union, your chair, your members, and everybody in the union for supporting the Sickle Cell Society and supporting the maternity hospital in Ghana. It's occasions like this that keep the society going. We get grants from the big lottery from now and then, but a significant portion of our income comes from fundraising. So I'm here to say a big thank you to Ghana Union Luton, all its members, all of you here today, and just to say it's up to you as well to help us by talking about sickle cell. There's nothing to be ashamed about sickle cell. It's a common condition. You know, people, yes, it's a difficult condition, but I need your help. The society needs your help to talk about sickle cell and remind people it's bigger than any other genetic blood condition. So the more people talk about it, the more it helps us raise awareness. Anybody see the program called The Midwife that we got? Did you see the thing? That was us. That was the Sickle Cell Society. We're trying to get EastEnders to run a story about sickle cell. We've asked Coronation Street, but Call the Midwife was the only one who have done it so far. So we're very grateful. I'm delighted. I'm sorry I've taken up some of your time, but as your MC said, I wanted to give you some facts about sickle cell and ask you to help us as an organisation raise awareness and make sure people don't see any stigma with sickle cell, because there are doctors with sickle cell, there are lawyers with sickle cell. You can achieve if you get the right support and the right treatment. 2020, which is just around the corner, and enjoy the evening and hospitality. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. John James. The Ghana High Commissioner is also aware the Ghana Union Lutein and Gye Nyame Entertainment UK are championing other projects in various parts of Ghana and would like to commend you for those laudable efforts. Thank you.
My baby, she fine, lost in my medulla, lost in my medulla. They got a dirty, lost in my medulla, lost in my medulla. My baby, she fine, lost in my medulla, lost in my medulla. They got a dirty, lost in my medulla, lost in my medulla.
Thank you so much, Uncle Ato, my lawyer one. Good evening all, and you are all welcome. It is an honor and a privilege. Madam Chair Lady, thank you so much for the privilege for me to ask for money from our lovely, gorgeous individuals here. As you see, I'm standing here with this lovely lady. Her name is Gabby. The reason why she's here is the reason why we are here. She is someone that is living with sickle cell. She's a Ghanaian. This one, they're close to home. So she's going to tell us how her day-to-day life is, especially when she's in crisis. Honestly, this afternoon I got a phone call that she was having crisis. She actually went to hospital to have blood transfusion, but because she was so determined, she still came. Can we please give her a clap of applause? She's very young, she's a teenager, but she's very courageous to stand in front of us to share her experience with us. And after that, if you don't cry, then you have to empty your pockets and donate. Thank you.
My name is Gabby, and obviously with sickle cell, you're born with sickle cell, so you don't choose whether to have it or not. It's not a choice. It's not a choice whether you get sickle cell or not. My mom is actually a sickle cell trait, and my dad has sickle cell, so one of his children, their children was like determined to get sickle cell, and unfortunately that was me. But I mean, it's fine because you can deal with it, you can live with it, but it's not easy. This morning I did wake up in pain and I wasn't feeling too well, so I did have to go to hospital, and I got a blood transfusion because my blood levels were low. So when you get a crisis, it's basically like your sickled blood is stuck in your veins, so they can't move and you feel a lot of pain.
Oh, you can't see it. Oh, you can't see the face. Oh, sorry. The face alone is £5. I'll come to you for it.
So, yeah, you feel a lot of pain and all of that, but like with the research and everything that the doctors get, they can help you manage it and treat you. So even though I had a crisis this morning, I'm standing here and I'm fine and all that. So
should we stand like this so that everybody can see us? Okay.
There's not really much to say. It's just that people like me need like a lot of help because it's not easy. Even though we look fine, we're not actually fine on the inside. So we need help, and with your donations and all of that, we can do that. More research and maybe even getting a cure for sickle cell. So yeah, that's all.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That is actually very, very good. Very, very good. Thank you so much, Madam Chair Lady. And as she was saying, I don't have sickle cell, but for something called alpha thalassemia trait. Alpha thalassemia trait is also a form of anemia. So I have to also go to hospital every 3 months for iron infusion.
Everybody looking nice, yeah. Okay, cheers. Yeah. Who like these to my man? Hey, make sure baby in a home fashion defense man. Oh, you're back in my, don't be quiet. Hey, follow the money and the best seller, yeah, open up. Oh, so if you're if you don't have to sing, let me see how to go. Let's go this way, let's go this way. Let's wait. Wait. Happy birthday, baby. Wait. Tell me how we are, baby. She be a love one night, she be dropping you crazy. Anywhere I go, I will plus you. You know I'm on the radio. If you see her, she dance on me. You will know what my body's calling. Yes. If you see that when she done for me, this dark here on the kid for me. What you like,
Something small. God bless you. Excuse us. Thank you. So this one is for the best newcomer. She's new, but she's been doing, she's been going above. Every time anybody will call her, she said, okay, I'm coming. Last night she was with me, we're going up and down. She didn't even know that she's been nominated for anything. So Adelaide, if you can join us, please. Best newcomer of Ghana Union. God bless you, Madam Chairlady. One more thing. So, as tradition demands, our honorable MP is here with us. So we need to honor him as well. Something small to take back home to appreciate his time joining us here. So, honorable MP, please, something small from Ghana Union.
Listen, I'll tell you something small about him. Yes, you remember there was a video that went viral. There was an MP who was mentioning certain places in his constituency. And he is the one. One of the places was, I can't even say it. I can't even answer. Okay. All these areas are in his constituency. And you know the funny thing? Nobody remembers why he made mention of those things. Because those places had no light, no electricity. Hence, he was mentioning those names, but nobody listened to the message. All that they remembered was the names. And through that, 25 places have now been electrified.
Thank you so much.
I am
Good evening. Good evening to my brothers and sisters and my mom and dads. Yeah, what it is I would like to explain it properly in our language so that everybody will understand. I know if I can get whoever gonna transfer it so that a few people who cannot understand our language will be understand it properly. Yeah, okay. In fact, everybody be me Elio Babes and Messiah Gye Nyame Entertainment. We handle a lot of artists. Your artists, they say you better perform more in Milan and don't figure. We call Ghana last week, and we call last 2 weeks, and we call because now me say yenya video kakra na yenyi na yehwe mba na omo na woma wona ntimi mpie no because I say MPP go 4 time no wo a wo ye free utime ko ba ko for the time no minim what happen wo a wentua ntime nko especially man o ma wona omo problems kakra na obo ho ayi twa no ne ade no ma bebre complications. Woman in I keep walk a war. And you know, may say, okay, Ghana, as or more, yeah, fundraising, yeah, me and so long. Normally, me taco Ghana, we call her, me one year cost. Beside that, you know, be pray drop on your mouth, me shop, Elio Babes. Me the match charity, me call into me one year cost be brain, you know, I am fundraising. Na kakra ibiti me de aboa no ne de aboa tin me call on de me hu ye na omoso ka so ibiti me na wo se be support no ye enti no me call ho no be pre ho ma obi ho de ka 20 million Ghana's ka obi ho de 10 million obi ho de 30 million unti me twa video kito because one more accepting him a video no because the best say you crew no into one penny but still now no me maneuver ye maneuver any way back or ye juma or try video kakra me send him a Ghana for the one but we share prices now a bit that one on that password form sad into no feeling too much, especially for maternity no share. Ye mama no more ma me dey me so ba we even 2 years cry ye me mama. No ma no munya baby. Enda omuntimi free home coffee because womuntimi afford 20 million, 10 million, 5 million now. Let me feel say sir. Yeah, they are fortunate. And no me say no, and yes, I am meba kasaka kra wa feel it from your heart. Kakra bia o feel so bit me their support to be ano. Yeah, we are into it. Eba wambo ye beko. Enti no kakra bia o de baba push here no. Near their support. This trip also the a video because every year bia ye be. Menya support of Ghana Union and I have no problem about it. Every year, piano, ye bay, into this trip on ye qua, ye could donate in the baby piano video. Now, next year, no program, no, ye the video number, I know, be ashes car way so fast where Abba will be in the in him saying, you know, your attitude near bad will be you crown out, you know, into no mestre, now I crave a kawakumano. Especially we a bema or baby or mommy. You have to see that. Very important. I will show my air mobile to Miss Rubiana and Kanakuma. Na on the Kakrebia will be to me be a near force from your heart in him so ya so wow. Media de bia me coffee a man for the no man baba Elio Babes me box so obi oye juma jobi ko bia be ka kire omo be fa every month be go 2-3 boxes me coffee na me de ko charity media me dey go charity places na me dey mom na me ami donate na me scare ko na me ye de me ye but do baby e wo say ye hwe ma me no mo ne ye nnuamba no mo te kakra office o betima bo e bia no eni ntina mo ha me das
na upe man got the Ferrari if you want plantain big one no do you try me
Shirley Queen I'm in Flamingo Shirley Queen I'm in Flamingo Shirley Queen I'm in Flamingo Baby Queen I'm in Flamingo Let bygone be bygone Make sleeping not slide I was very stubborn and very back no more Anything I know you for time and yes I will be coming baby don't try But if you're my young show me one better than me oh me diversion so back cassava Ebo na bi na media be so me na fashion if you want banana Ebo na bi na media be so me na fashion kakumba dede e bi na media be odo yo so me je so me na fashion money be my show me one better than me oh me diversion if you want sugar cane go short odo yo show me so me na fashion if you want plantain big one odo yo show me so me na fashion money be my show me one better than me oh me diversion don't console no boy ne I dare you what you quite the same ni mechi no be any ho I'm sorry ukwa